Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. I can't believe it's already May 13th and just have a week of school left. Next week you'll all be turning in your textbooks and picking up your stuff. We'll send out an email with this video that reminds you of all the times to be doing that. So really it's the last week of school. And I'm so thankful for all the good things you've done, all the work you've done. I'm thankful to you and your parents, and proud of the way you guys have handled a difficult time. I want to tell you about a verse. This is a popular verse. You see it on t-shirts, and a lot of people know this verse, but it comes from Philippians 4 and verse 13. And it says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I hope you do have this verse memorized. I hope you do have this verse on your heart, because it is another good verse for troubled times. You know, the Apostle Paul is writing in this verse, and he certainly knew trouble. He had a hard life. He was called by Jesus to be an apostle and to spread the gospel to the Jews first, and then to the Gentiles all over the world at that time. And he went everywhere, and he had lots of problems. Then a shipwreck, people threw rocks at him. Anyway, he knew hard times. So when you see this verse, and he says, I've learned to be content. If you read the whole passage, of course, a couple of weeks ago in chapter 4, he said, don't worry, pray to God and he will give you peace. Well, this verse again says, I've learned the secret to being content. And my secret is that I know Jesus Christ. And that's where his strength comes from. Now, this verse says we can do whatever God calls us to do. It doesn't say we can do whatever we want to do. It says we can do whatever God calls us to do. And so remember that. It's an encouragement that God can give you strength to be content in no matter what. God can give you strength to be content no matter what. And that's the key to this verse, that your strength comes from God. Now, to be content, it's to have peace, and it's really to be happy. He says, I know the secret to happiness. And that secret is Jesus Christ is there with him through all his troubles and gives him strength. So I want you to remember that always. Always know that Jesus is always with you. He loves you, and he cares about you. He gave his life for you, and he is our strength. That's why we as Christians can always be content. We can always be joyful in our hope we have in Jesus Christ. So I love you. Have a good week, and I hope to see you next week when you turn in your things.